What's going on, my Jack brother? Coach Scott here. We are approaching the toughest time of year to lose weight. These last 2 months include Halloween, the American Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, with events, gatherings, and festivities around and in between each and every one of them. So the best thing that you can do right now is to start planning ahead so you can enjoy those events to the fullest and finish this year strong, guilt-free, setting up 2023 to be your best year ever. First up, let's plan on coming out of Halloween successful this year. I recommend that you do not go to the store feeling hungry whatsoever. You don't want to put yourself in a position where you may give in to that temptation when you're there. And I recommend that you do not buy your Halloween candy in advance. Having it in the house is just too tempting. It's too difficult for you to control yourself with. It's very easy to tell yourself, I'll just have one little mini chocolate bar. I don't know about you, I have never been able to have just one. Oftentimes it turns out into all those little mini chocolate bars I have in one little sitting is more than if I would have had a full-size chocolate bar. So do not buy it in advance. It's not like it was when we were younger, where if you didn't buy your Halloween candy weeks in advance, the shelves were empty and you were stuck giving out like the worst kind of Halloween candy and you got a bad rap by all the kids in the neighborhood. So you don't have to worry nowadays. Things are different. They basically sell Halloween candy all year round. So you can wait till the day before or even the day of and still get quality Halloween candy that the kids will be raving about when they come visit your house there. For me personally, we don't get kids here, so we only have houses on one side of the street. A lot of the driveways are long and the houses sometimes are spread far apart. So I'm fortunate enough where I don't have to give away Halloween candy, so I just don't buy it. If I want a chocolate bar, I'm going to get a full-size chocolate bar whenever I desire it, but I'm not going to have a box of 100 mini chocolate bars in the house for me to be tempted with on a daily basis, because there's a good chance I'm going to crush the entire box in one sitting there. So again, avoid those temptations. And if you are giving away candy and you have any left over after Halloween evening, give it away to some child who's going to appreciate it more than you will, or even give it away to the homeless, as I did when my daughter brought some mini chocolate eggs and some cinnamon hearts after Valentine's Day there and Easter. I didn't want all that temptation in my house, so I put them in Ziploc bags and gave it out to the homeless there. So that feels good. Not only are you doing something good for yourself, but you're doing something good for someone else as well. Other things, again, if you have kids and they've got Halloween candy, leave their candy alone. It's for them. They put in the work going door to door to door. This is their event. I know that chocolate is great, but think to yourself, back when you were a kid, would you want your parents digging into your Halloween bag? Hell no, let them enjoy their candy. Don't be a thief and steal their chocolate and their hard-earned stash there. Now, if you're planning on going to a Halloween party, what I'm about to share with you is going to apply to all events that you attend during the next 2 months, including Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, any work or family gathering around or in between those events. I want you to look at your calorie intake on a weekly basis. So let's use myself as an example. My maintenance level calories is roughly around like 2,700. So if I want to lose about 1.5 pounds per week, I'm looking at about a 750 calorie deficit. So on average, general rule of thumb, if you want to lose 1 pound per week, 500 calorie deficit. You want to lose 2 pounds per week, 1,000 calorie deficit. So 1.5 pounds per week is roughly around a 750 calorie deficit. So I usually put myself around that 2,000 calorie mark. So I want you to look at that on a weekly basis, especially during this holiday season here. So let's say I know I've got an event coming up Friday evening, got a Halloween party that I want to attend. What I can do is kind of bank some calories leading up to the event. Instead of consuming 2,000 calories every single day, including that day, the day of that event, I can maybe eat 1,800 calories per day leading up to that for maybe 5 days leading up to that. That's going to give me an extra 1,000 calories that I can use towards that event. So instead of eating 2,000 calories on the day of that party, I can eat 3,000 calories, which is going to be actually a gentle calorie surplus for me, leave me feeling full and satisfied, not overfull, not overstuffed, but just right. So really dropping my calories 200 a day for 5 days leading up to that isn't going to be that big of a difference. I'm not going to get to that day like starving and like I'm ravenous. I can't wait to have a cheat day here and go all out. No, it's going to be manageable leading up to that point. So maybe you don't even want to be that. Maybe you only want to 2,500 calories, save like bank an extra 500 calories for that day. That's cool. You only have to reduce it like 500, like 100 for 5 days leading up to that. You can also eat a little bit less the day of. So not only can you bank some calories in those days leading up to the event, but the day of, you can eat a little bit lighter before you go out. Maybe have a little bit lighter breakfast, a little bit lighter lunch. So maybe you're only like 600 or 700 calories after your lunch. When you get to that party, now you have 1,300 calories to work with, and you can still hit your calorie deficit for that day. Still hit 2,000 calories if you want, or even give yourself a little bit room to enjoy more of the food that's there. And you can do it guilt-free, knowing that you're hitting your calorie target for the week, and everything kind of works out in the wash. Yeah, you're going to have a higher calorie day here, but at the end of the week, you've hit your calorie target for the week, so you're in an overall calorie deficit. Yeah, your weight is going to go up that day because you're going to have more food in your digestive system, but again, it's all going to work out, and chances are, if you eat a little bit more that day of the party, of the event, you're probably going to be okay eating a little bit less than your calorie deficit. If it's 2,000 calories, that you're, like for myself, that I'd be aiming for that day, I'm probably not going to be as hungry, and I may get away with it only needing to eat 1,700 calories that day. So again, look at your calories on a weekly basis and know yourself how you will best respond to that party, to that gathering, if you whether eat a little bit less leading up through the day, or maybe that's going to trigger a binge. Maybe if you eat too light leading up to that, you're going to be so ravenous that, again, you're going to binge while you're there. Just once you start eating, you're just not going to be able to turn it off. So you've really got to know yourself in those situations. And I also highly encourage you, especially when it comes to like Thanksgiving and Christmas, to chew your food slowly. Really take your time eating. Like, enjoy the meals. Like, savor every bite. Savor the company that you are with. I think chewing your food slowly is a lost art. That's where a good chunk of our digestion takes place, is in our mouths, like building up the saliva to break it down before we swallow the food. So really chew your food and taste your food. If you're really trying to get joy out of the experience, joy isn't going to come from overstuffing yourself. The joy is going to come from savoring every bite. You're probably going to find, like, when you actually chew your food, actually taste your food, you don't need as much of it to gain the greatest joy from that eating experience there. So take your time to eat to that point of satisfaction. Getting to that point where you're overfull and stuffed is just not comfortable. It's going to, like, for myself personally, it gives me acid reflux. I don't sleep very comfortably. I just feel gross. My digestive system gets all out of whack. So I don't enjoy overeating. I like to eat to the point of satisfaction. On days like Christmas and Thanksgiving, I allow myself to eat to the point where I'm full. I'm a little bit more than satisfied, but I'm not overfull. I'm not stuffed where I feel so uncomfortable and gross and disgusting. So that's how I get the most joy out of the experience. And when you think about it, like, oftentimes Thanksgiving and Christmas, those meals are like good quality bro meals. You got lean proteins, you got good healthy carbs like potatoes and sweet potatoes, veggies that you got involved there. So really, when it comes down to stuffing, again, it's not all that bad for you there. Just moderate the portions there, eat responsibly. It's the desserts. Again, enjoy the desserts responsibly. And again, guilt-free, because you know you have banked those calories leading up to those events. Maybe even eating a little bit lighter leading up to that day. So you can enjoy those foods to the point where you feel full, not overfull, not stuffed, and really chew the food, savor the moment, savor the taste, savor the overall experience with the company that you are celebrating with. And without a doubt, what's most important is that you are true to yourself. You're doing what is in your best interest. You're doing what is going to allow you to be happy in that moment, gain the greatest joy and pleasure from that experience. If you want to have a drink, have a drink. If you want to have two, have two. If you want to have dessert, have dessert. Just plan for it ahead of time so you can enjoy that experience guilt-free and still make progress towards your goals. If you don't want to have a drink, if you don't want to have dessert, don't allow anyone to persuade you to have something to do something that you don't really want to do, something that you have no desire for in that moment. For example, I was just out for dinner with my family. They were all having wine, offered me wine. No, I'm good with water. We had just gotten together a couple days prior to that. I had 2 craft beers with my dad. I just wasn't feeling like alcohol in that moment. I certainly wasn't feeling like wine. I just had no desire for it. I was content with the water and the delicious meal there. Wine wasn't going to add anything to it. If anything, because I just not only did I not have a desire, just the thought of it just kind of turned me off altogether. They offered a couple times afterwards. I'm like, guys, like if I wanted wine, I'd have wine, but I really do not want wine right now. So don't allow anyone to persuade you to do something that you do not want to do. Anything that's not really going to give you any more pleasure from that experience. And lastly, although we're doing a great job of planning ahead and setting ourselves up for success, even the greatest plans fail at times. Sometimes the temptations are just too great for us to resist. We are human. We need to forgive ourselves if we do happen to go overboard. Maybe there's a dessert that we haven't had in ages, and once we had a little bit of it, we just couldn't control ourselves. Like, it's okay. It's just one day in the big picture, in the big year. Learn from that experience. Again, number one, forgive yourself. You are human. Forgive yourself. What can you learn from that experience? Could you have done anything different if you happen to see yourself in that situation in the future? And then move on. Like, just it's in the past. There's nothing you can do. You can't change it. But what can you do in this moment to move yourself forward? Again, learning from the experience and start applying it right now. Just get right back to what has been working all along. Get back to the structured meals that you were consuming, the whole natural, nutrient-rich foods that allow you to thrive and give the best of yourself to all that you're doing. Get back to a great night's sleep. Get back to just stress management, so don't stress over that kind of stuff. Get back to living an active lifestyle, doing what allows you to live your life to the full. So move on, focus on this moment. That's all you can control, is what you do right now. So forgive yourself in those situations. Chances are you may face a situation where you do go a little overboard. You do go a little bit off plan from what you did. But again, chances are, because you planned ahead, it's going to be a little bit better than what would have happened if you didn't plan up front right now like we're doing today. So I hope you enjoyed these tips. I hope you enjoyed this advice here. If you did, please do me a favor and smash that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that alert button so you're notified each time I upload a video. If you know a fellow bro who would benefit from watching today's video, please do me a favor and share it with them. But more than anything, I would love to hear from you down in the comment section below. Share your thoughts, share your insights, share your feedback. Let me know what resonated most with you, how you handle these situations ahead. You kind of just treat it as there's no way I'm going to diet, and there's just too many temptations. You just know yourself better, that you can't control yourself during this time of year, so you're better off not dieting. Maybe it's an opportunity to be in a muscle building phase right now, or a maintenance phase. Let me know how you handle the holiday season, the last 2 months of the year here. We'd love to hear your insights. And before you go, don't forget to download your free guide, Lose Fat, Get Jacked. Have yourself an amazing day. Catch you in the next video.